I believe the next challenge is to educate our students to a level that they are proficient in math, reading, writing, and science, so that our students can become productive citizens. We prepare by getting back to the basics of teaching, the fundamentals again of reading, writing, math, history, and science. You know, I remember as a child, I couldn't understand the concept of fractions. Then one day, with some extra help, it clicked. I got it. And I can guarantee my self-esteem shot up a few points that day. We need to get back to the basics. That's our biggest and most important challenge.
I believe one of the biggest challenges our school district will have is to fund the basics in education. Every year, teachers are given new initiatives which target an area the federal or state says is important. There are so many grants that offer free money, but they come with strings attached. These grants take time from the basics to implement. It will be a challenge to keep unnecessary distractions limited and focus on the educational needs of our students, and give our teachers the tools they need to teach the basics.
Yeah, great question. I think certainly one of the things is, I'd like to say post-pandemic, right, with kids back in school all the time now and things of that nature, and just trying to get kids back to where they were, whether that's educational, whether that's behavior, all the above. Certainly there was a giant disruption, not just here in Faribault, statewide, nationwide. I think all schools pretty much talk about that. At the same token, these are uncharted times, at least from my time on the board and from what I am aware of in terms of staffing levels and funding levels. And so funding might be inflation related, but staffing, where we're at 1.8% unemployment statewide, we're not far off that here locally, and you know, there's just a lot of job openings all over. And so when I say staffing, it's not just people leaving the public schools or teaching or the education profession, but how many people are coming into the profession. And so I think that's a major potential issue down the road, and the best thing I can say is we'll deal with it as it comes. I think we're trying to be proactive locally with our Grow Your Own program, which I'm excited about, and hopefully that does make a difference.
Racial divide. That's the biggest issue in town, the biggest issue in the school system. To prepare for it, we're not prepared for it. The thing is, it needs to be addressed that it is there. Once you admit it, we can fix the problem. I don't think it's being admitted, that they're admitting it's there, and therefore it's continually going to be a problem.
The biggest challenge this district will face in the next 3 years is the impact of insufficient funding from the state and federal governments. Unfortunately, the state legislature has not kept its share of funding consistent with inflation and failed in 2022 to pass a bill to support school districts with the long-standing and growing special education cross-subsidy. Special education is a critical part of the services our school district provides for students and families, and we will always ensure those services are funded. Our cross-subsidy here is $4.6 million a year. We will prepare for it in 3 ways. We will continue to push the state government for funding education properly. We cannot count on that, however, so each year we prepare for and make budget cuts to ensure that we are adjusting properly as our costs rise and our funding doesn't rise to match. Finally, we are bringing this concern to our local community in hopes that we can pass our levy questions.
I think the biggest challenge in the next 3 years is staying on mission. We have a lot of distractions. And I think to clarify, for me, our mission is educating our students, giving that excellence in education, as I mentioned earlier. We need to provide our students the tools and skills they need to be successful in their next step in life. We can't get distracted with the COVID disparity. We can't get distracted by politics and agendas. We have to stay on mission. We have to focus on ideas and solutions to overcome those challenges. But that's going to take concerted effort. That's going to take people on the board that are capable of asking difficult questions, digging into challenging details, and that's what I can offer to the Faribault School Board.
School finances will be a big challenge due to funding loss from an expiring levy and declining enrollment of more than 100 of students over the last 2 years. Loss of students is loss of revenue, and cuts are expected. Another big challenge will be the tremendous expansion of curriculum as stated in the recent Faribault Public School newsletter. The new curriculum is a result of the 2021 board adoption of equity policies and curriculum. The equity-related curriculum has not yet been unveiled or shared with parents or previewed by the school board, but it is set to be implemented. We know this because the staff training websites and sources have been provided.
Well, a couple big challenges. One, obviously, is increasing our proficiency in students' math and reading, and also providing learning opportunities to help increase those proficiencies for our students. That's going to be particularly interesting with the limitations we probably have within our budgetary, within our levy and the money we receive. So that is definitely going to be a challenge for our students, our staff, and our community.